Hello. It says I'm live. Here I am. Hello, hello. It says it's 7 o'clock p.m. exactly on my computer, so I hope that is right. And forgive the noise, but it's like 96 degrees here, so the air conditioning unit is going full bore. Hi, Nick. How are you? Is it hot in Georgia? Because it sure is hot in Pennsylvania. I think tonight we're supposed to get thunderstorms late, like early morning, and I think that's supposed to cool it down. Thank goodness. It's been in the mid 90s all week. I mean, well, 3 or 4 days. I guess that is all week. uh, anyway, yes, Deb, the weather person. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Kai. I forget. I'm sorry. I saw you posted some paper pumpkin alternatives, I think. I don't know if it was just the other day or a couple days ago, but I haven't had a chance to watch. I've already done mine, so it's okay. I can watch others now. Hi, Heather. Shy. You told me that before. Sorry. Shy. Shy Stampin' World. Thank you. Hi, Philomena. Yay. Yeah, it's hot in Georgia, too. Ugh. I'm done with it. I don't like the extreme cold, but oh, you haven't yet? Oh, I thought I saw you put that up. I saw something go up from your channel, but I could be mistaken. Last night, well, the night before last, I stayed up all night watching some foreign TV series with subtitles. It was pretty good, but I was on a mission to watch all 31 of the episodes in season one, which is the only season. Anyway, I did stay up all night, and I kept watching it till like 3:30 in the afternoon yesterday. But then I made dinner, had dinner, and then I fell asleep on the sofa, I think around 5 or 5:30, and the lawn guy came. I never even heard him, and he's usually really loud. I slept on the sofa all night. But of course, because I fell asleep early, I woke up at 2:30 this morning. So yeah, I've been up since 2:30. One of these days I'll get it right. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. All right. Well, we will get started because we have 5 cards to do. Wait, what did Heather say? Oh, yeah. My second one, I was about a day and a half and not feeling good. I actually got a fever and stuff the second shot, but I didn't get it till the day after my shot. So, yeah, drink lots of liquids and rest and take Tylenol. Tylenol, as they say, is okay. And I did to break the fever, but it broke like overnight. I slept it off, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, and then I was fine, except for sore arm, the usual stuff. All right, so guess what, guys? We have a new host code, even though June 30th is today. I set up a new host code because you're only supposed to have these codes open for 30 days, and they can eliminate them. So I closed it out. Here's the new one for July, but it starts today. Today is the last day you can get the last chance products from the last mini catalog. And then tomorrow, July 1st, there's a designer series paper sale of things in the annual catalog. Now, it's not all of them, because actually one in particular hasn't been available for like a few weeks. But these are all 15% off tomorrow through the 2nd of August. And if you order them, please use this host code, unless your order is over $150, and then don't use a host code. And this is below this live stream and it's below the video that went up earlier today. Okay, so the ones that are on sale: Beauty of the Earth, which I do have; Bloom Where You're Planted, which I have; Hand Penned, we're going to use on the first 2 cards tonight. In Good Taste was a carryover. That's the one with all the textures and stuff from carryover from last year. In the Wild, we're going to use on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th cards tonight. Pansy Petals, I have, and I've used that already. Sweet Symmetry, I don't have. And Tidings of Christmas I don't have. And You're a Peach we're probably going to use next week. So next week I'm kind of thinking will be Sweet as a Peach and The Flowers of Friendship, which comes with a punch. And those will probably make, I don't know if we'll use designer paper for those, but this one we will. So that's next Wednesday. That's for Fab 4. So this starts tomorrow. I posted this in my Facebook group and on my Deb House Crafty Cottage Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Facebook page as well. And I also put up this host code in the upper right corner of my blog, which if you click on that will take you right to my demo website. The demo website's also linked down below as always, and the host code is down below also. Okay, next thing is you have until July 10th to order the next paper pumpkin kit for $22 a month US dollars. Oh shoot, I'm getting all these. I've been getting like 8 or 9 spam calls a day. I don't know who they are, but they need to stop. And I don't know. I'm gonna put my phone on the floor because I forgot to put it on airplane, whatever. Anyway, this is going to make 12 cards in coordinating envelopes. It doesn't say what size cards, and tons of colors. I'm not going to read them off. And I cannot show you the mini catalog, the new one, but demonstrators get to start pre-ordering from the new mini catalog, which it's a July to December catalog, but things got pushed back a month. So we're pre-ordering in July, and August, I want to say 3rd, is the beginning of the new mini catalog. And I finalized my mailing selector. Anybody that placed an order above 25, I think it was, or had 2 paper pumpkins in that time frame, is on the list. So let me tell you, there's like 33 people that are getting the mini catalog and the celebration brochure from me sometime by the end of July. That's all I can tell you. We demonstrators aren't guaranteed to get ours even until like the 27th of July, and then we have to call them. So I don't answer them either, and some of them I can't even see the number. It just says spam likely, and some say United States, some say all over the country. Some are local in Pennsylvania, but I don't know anybody from that area. But I will say also, that brings up another point. My phone number is on all those catalogs that get mailed. That's my cell phone number. It's the only phone I have. And if you need to call me, you're welcome to. But if I don't have you in my contacts, I will not answer the phone. So please leave a message and then I'll get back to you. I'm good about doing that very quickly. And if you tell me it's about Stampin' Up, you have a question or whatever, feel free to call that number. I don't post it in YouTube, but it is in my contact information with Stampin' Up on, I think it's even on my web portal. So you can call that, but just know I never answer the phone to anybody I don't know because I get so many spam calls, and some of them look legit and then they're not. So, but please leave a message for me if you have a question or something. The best thing to do is either message me through Facebook or text message me or email me. Either of my 2 emails. The one for Gmail, or I have my one with Comcast registered is dahliadesigns@comcast.net with an underline in between Dahlia and Designs. So that's also probably on the back of your catalogs and stuff. All right, let's get going here. Here is first card. The first 2 cards we're going to use Garden Birdhouses, but we're going to use them in conjunction with the hand-penned beautiful papers. I love this paper. And the first one, let's see if I can find another piece of it. The first one's going to use this, and the second one is going to use this. They're really pretty papers. This is Garden Green, and that's what we're going to use, Garden Green. And Basic White, I'm using Basic White now. Woohoo! And the second one we're going to use Misty Moonlight, but we're also going to do a little watercoloring. So let's get started. I have so many stamps out on my desk. I may have to, after the first 2 cards, I may have to take a break and put those stamps back away so I have room to bring the other ones up for the next 3 cards. Yay, Brandy made it, and the Hellcats. Yeah, I hadn't either, so I'm forcing myself to do it, and it's actually not that hard. It's just that there's no, I wish there were dies, especially for these itty bitty little birdies. But anyway, I actually fussy cut that little birdie, and so you don't have to sit here and watch me do that. I fussy cut another one. Look how tiny it is. It's so cute. Now let me see. I want to make sure I'm staying in frame. All right. So what we're using is the, okay, I forgot to bring them back out. We're going to use the stitched greenery die. So what I did, I'm going to show you because I already did it because I have 5 cards I want to keep going. I put the die, which is a big die. You can do a big card with this. I put the die all the way up to the fold. I pre-creased it at the 4.5 mark and put the die like this and ran it through. And I actually might have even taped it down here because I didn't want it to shift and end up like crooked. So the front of my card base is actually etched with this die. I love this die actually. It does have a tendency to curl your cardstock just a little bit because it's such a big die. You just have to bend it the other way, you know, and it'll be fine. So yeah, tedious fussy cutting. Well, luckily that was it. So just that little guy. So that's what I did for the card base. Then I took the contours. Oh boy, I don't. Rectangle contours, scallop contours. I can never remember the name. I used the largest one on garden green, this one right here, and I used the 3rd largest one on basic white, which we're going to stamp on and color. Okay, and I'm going to show you a little masking thing. And then the other dies I used were just the layering circles. Now on this one here, I used this same little die in garden green, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell you size, but it's, oh, let me get the measuring thing. The scallop to scallop's a little over it's about 1.5 inches. And on this one, I used this itty bitty circle, which is like 1 and not even quite 1.5, but it was really small. So I die cut the next bigger one, which just when you put them together, these are the layering circles. It just leaves a tiny little edge of green around it, and that's what I think I like that better for this particular card. And so I use the layering circle. So let me put all that stuff away. I already did all that. And then we can get stamping. Yes, I think the contour dies are my new favorite. All right, so the first thing and one more thing. Wasn't done. This is die cut also, but it's with the rectangle stitch dies, and I believe it was this 3rd one in. And what I did is I took them and I was like, what will fit on here? Actually, it might be the next one up. Yep, it's actually the 2nd one. Sorry. I did this one this morning, so I'm having a memory lapse. It was the 2nd one because I wanted it to go like just the scallops to show. And see, that fits when that cuts out, it fits just about perfectly on there. So I wanted the DSP to just have that little bit of a border edge, scallop border edge around it. So that's the first thing we're going to do is glue these 2 together. And let me move these out of the way. And look, I'm almost losing my birdie here. Uh-oh. Don't want to lose my birdie, because I don't want to be fussy cutting again. Oh, the other side's so pretty too. Not tonight. We're going to just do the green tonight. I like the hand-penned suite, or not. Is it a suite? I don't know. The bundle and the, yeah, I guess it's a bundle. Is it a bundle or is it just a stamp set? I think it's a bundle with dies. I like that one too. I have that. I've used it before. I'm trying to use some things that I haven't used yet that have been here. Now, I've used the hand-penned paper before, but I hadn't used the garden birdhouse. And that is just about right. I probably could have made it go up a little higher, but that's okay. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is stamp on here. But before I do that, I want to mask off the bottom here, because I don't really want that grass to go down below the stitching. And so, nor the birdhouse bottom. Hello, Mary. Welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to put this right on the stitch line. And I was doing it on my hand, tacking it, because this washi tape and the purple tape, they all seem to tear. I'm also going to go up this side just a little bit, because I don't want it to go over here either. Okay, and let me bring a scrap up so I don't mess up my already getting dirty thing. Let's see, this way, I guess. And actually, that'll help hold that down. So the first thing we're going to do is the pole. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'll tell you my boo-boos. I went outside the line. So what I did is I just took the brush tip of the Stampin' Right and widened it all the way down. I can tell because I can see where I stamped. And I did that stamping in early espresso. I'm going to try not to do that today. More of a hobby, though. Yeah. All right, let me see which way this goes. This way. This way. I don't know if it matters. Yes. Okay, so on this stamp, it looks like two lines, but it comes together sort of at the top up there. Well, I'm considering to be the top. I'm actually going to go over the washi tape. I actually need to be over a little further. There, right about there. I think I went up too high. I did. I went up too high. Oops. Okay, I have to do one of these over. Not paying attention here. I think the first time I stamped the birdhouse first. All right, I gotta get my dies back out. I just need a piece of white. It's gonna be a long night, I think. I hope not. Hi, Therese. Welcome. Caught my first boo-boo of the night. So let me make sure this is the right one. Yes, we're gonna die cut another piece, because if you turn that one over, it doesn't quite look the same. So I'm gonna die cut another one. Just turning around to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with two plate numbers 3, the base, and plate 1 or 2, plate 2, which is just a little shimmy thing. Okay, put my die away again so I don't lose it. That was the contour, scallop contour die. Okay, let's get the birdhouse first. Let's see which one. This one. I'm going to stamp that in early espresso anyway, so let's do that first. Oh, wait. Before I forget, let's put our washi tape back on, because I am going to stamp over those lines. I'm just masking that off because I don't want the images to go over those lines. Okay. Let's put it on here sort of straight. Doesn't need to be, just for image. Okay, so up about here. Good idea to have your birdhouse on there first. Then stamp your pole thingy, your stick in the ground. And I guess it really doesn't matter which end you put at the top, but I like to put this one that it sort of goes a little more solid towards the top. Like that. See how it's more solid there? I'll probably color it in anyway. And this, still looks dotted, but it's different texture on the back. I'll use that for something else. I don't waste it, I use it, which is why I end up with a bazillion little scraps of basic white cardstock everywhere. All right, now we're going to get out Garden Green. Do you? Well, this is a standalone stamp set. If you order it and the paper tomorrow, you get 15% off the paper. Designer Series paper sale starting tomorrow. All right, so I am going to now stamp these, and I want them to be right about there. And then I'm going to do it again over here. And then there's a single flower, more singular. Put that over here. And then there's a little grassy bit. And I'm just going to do a couple of them right down here. And I think that'll do that. And then we just have to color it. After I clean my stamps. Put my ink away. Now, we do not have a early espresso Stampin' blend, so I'm actually, might as well color it while it's taped. I'm actually just, going to use the brush end and hope I don't go out of lines. You could also get your blending tool or a brush and just use your ink pad to do it, because that if you don't have these, but that is what's in here is dye-based ink. And then what I did is I used bronze. Sorry. I bumped my light. I used bronze and kind of went on all the edge parts, like. It kind of makes them stand out a little more, I think. I have two birdhouses. They're both blue birdhouses facing south, sort of southeast actually. And I had bluebirds in one of them this year. They might still be in there. And then in the other, maybe not. And then in the other house, I think I had sparrows or finches. I'm not sure which. I've seen little heads popping out, but I haven't been able to see the whole little fluffy bodies yet. And then there's this little peg that the birdies can stand on if they want to peek in at their babies. Right there too. Okay, what else? Yeah. Do you have the DSP? Yay. Thank you, Cindy. Not that I'm aware of, Shy. I'm not familiar with a Pacific Point Stampin' blend. There is a Stampin' Right, but not a Stampin' blend. And then I used I think I used dark, though. Let me check. Crumb Cake. No, I think I used light. Pretty sure I used light, but I'm going to use the nib end. Okay. And I'm just simple coloring this. I hope I have another. My pre-order might have to include another crumb cake pack of these. I use crumb cake quite a lot, actually. Crumb cake, pool party, and petal pink, because petal pink I use as skin tone sometimes. And ivory I use for skin tone, and actually you can use bronze as well. I am not even paying attention to how I'm doing this other than I don't want to go out of the lines. Simple coloring is the theme here for tonight. Well, for this one. And look, they even have what looks like a little door, shaped like a little door. It's so cute. My birdhouses are not that cute. They're just wooden boxes. All right, now I'm going to use Polished Pink Dark and just take the nib end. Hi, Candy. Welcome. Wow, I'm surprised you're here. I'm going to peel the tape off now just so I can see where I have to color and where I don't need to. And look at how neat that is. So neat. Okay, and I'm just going to put little bits of pink on these flowers here, where the little openings are. I originally thought about stamping them in black, and I thought, no, because all the stems will be black and stuff then. Sometimes you have to stamp something to see. I almost did that one, and that's a leaf, actually. But this is a little flower. I have little flowers in my garden called sundrops, and they're like a ground cover, but they get about a foot tall, but they keep, you know, if you pick the ends off, whatever they call that, they come up every year and they multiply. But they seem to have multiplied like all in a big clump on one end and in the middle and on the other end, and there's two kind of bare spots, so I need to do something about that. So that's our coloring. And then we're going to pull out Misty Moonlight, because I was just not wanting all green. I needed stuff to break it up, and we're going to stamp hello on that little circle I've already. Hopefully I can get it on there. The last time I die cut it after I stamped it. So this is going to be a test. I'm not real good at, luckily it's a circle. It's not like I have to get it. Oh, that should be easy. It's not like I have to get it on a skinny little thing. There we go. So now it's just a matter of assembling. So again, we ran the card base through the embossing. Oh, we have one more thing to do after I clean this stamp. And that is, before we put this down, we're going to put this silver mesh around. I just felt like it needed a little sparkle, and I also figured that this meshy stuff would be the kind of stuff that birds would pick up to make their nest. So that's my reasoning. It's called Metallic Mesh Ribbon Silver, and it's in the annual catalog on page 140. It's 153550. And we're using this stamp set for those that came in late, and it's number 155090, and it's on page 107 of the annual catalog. All right, so I'm going to bring in my tape runner, and I'll be using the regular seal to tack this down because I had a little issue with the seal plus tearing my paper again. I don't know if I pushed too hard. It was fine the other day. It didn't tear anything for me, and now today it actually tore my designer paper on one of my cards. That we'll do later. Okay, so that's that, and now we're going to glue that down. How is everybody else doing? Staying cool in the air conditioning, I hope. I'm feeling okay, I hope. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. I appreciate that very much. Now on this one, I just glued this down, and we'll bump this up, and the birdie is bumped up on a half of a mini dimensional. So let's glue this down. And that, it wasn't hard cutting it, but it was hard getting it on the bird. And I don't like to go outside the stitched line with the glue because I just feel like it's going to go through those stitch marks, and I've had that happen before. And you just need to make sure it's straight, kind of push down. You can turn it over, but don't slide it. Just push, because if you slide it and the glue is still freshly wet, it will slide and be crooked all over again, which happens to me more often than I care to mention. Oh, it's winter there? Ah, so it's cold in winter there? Yeah, yeah, I know. It's really just miserable here. I went out to get the mail and almost wilted, and then when I did that, my cat ran out. I have like an enclosed patio room, but it's not, it has windows and stuff, but it was hot. And my cat ran out there. She's not allowed outside, but she went out on the patio, and then she did not want to come back in, and I had to leave the door open about 3 inches in case she wanted in, because I was up here, and I figured if she gets really hot, she's going to want to come in and drink water. Well, I finally had to go out and pretty much drag her back in, because I didn't want with the door open, the air conditioning runs even harder. And then we end up freezing in here downstairs. Yeah, beautiful weather in winter. Yeah. Okay, now my objective here was this little bird is looking right in the little hole. I should have put a little twig in his mouth, but he's too little. So he's just peeking in. It's a bluebird, like my bluebird houses, to check on the little ones, right? And that is the front. And then on the inside, on a piece of basic white cut 5 by 3 3/4, we're just going to stamp some more of those flowers and color them right in this corner here. So get my scrap again. And what did I do with them? Here. I just used that one. Yeah, he's a cutie, isn't he? I like bluebirds. They're so pretty, and I never used to see them. But there's first for everything, it seems like, lately. Like, as in, I have a grape arbor, and I had grapes before, but last year it was covered in lantern flies, so we had to spray it and spray it and spray it. And we got grapes, but they kind of shriveled up the last 2 years, actually, before they ripened. They're Concord grapes, the purple ones. And anyway, this year it's covered, and I, knock on wood, haven't seen any lantern flies yet this year, or not even the babies. So, of course, these last 3 days I haven't really gone out and looked at it because it's too stinking hot. And they like the warmth, apparently, so maybe they flew somewhere else. I don't know. Or maybe they just haven't hatched yet. Okay, I think that's all for that one. And I'm not going to worry about those 2 little open leaves. And then we're just going to put that on a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 garden green, these cardstock. And then glue it into the card. And that will be card number 1 of 5. Hopefully we'll get through all 5. One of them takes a little bit of time, but I tried to pre-prep as much of it as I could. But that's later. Thank you, Philomena. And I actually did get out another bottle of glue because this one's on its last leg. I don't know where that saying came from, but there we go. Pretty, pretty. Our little hello card. So do you like it better with the small hello or the little bit bigger? Now I'm not. Oh, we're not quite done. What I used was these blue adhesive back gems, which are actually Balmy Blue and Night of Navy. but I thought the light blue, the balmy blue, went with it anyway. So we're just going to put a couple of the smaller ones on. I guess I have to use this end. And put them up there. I did a little bit different. And one over here. Put one right there. There we go. I'm going to leave them out because I think I'm going to use them on the next one. Okay, now we're done. This one here with it a little bigger, yeah. I like them both. I don't know. All right. Oh, and on this first bird, I actually took my black Stampin' Right and went around the edge. I forgot to do that on this one. So there's a little bit of white showing down there, his little talons, but that's okay. All right. That's card number 1. Card number 2, we're going to do a little bit of, okay, so this piece is watercolor paper, but if you watched last week, this was, on the back of this is the part I had done with the chalk markers. I didn't like it. And then I kind of messed this one up, but what I did is I stamped this first in saddle brown stays on. I'm not going to do that this time. Also, the piece was a little too small. I had cut it down a little bit. I need about a 1/4 inch more, so I cut a piece a 1/4 inch more bigger. In fact, the piece we're going to be using is 3x4 for this piece. And we're going to do the background first, which I did with the chalk markers, soft pastels, I should call them, I mean. So we'll do a little bit of that again tonight, and just with the Night of Navy. But we're going to use the watercolor pens, and we're going to do the whole piece first. Now you could also use, you don't have to use the soft pastels. You can use watercolor, you know, your dye-based inks and water, or you could also use your watercolor pencils and water. But, which I do have. I haven't used them in a while. So what I'm going to do is just take this block, like I did last week, and just scrape a bit off. I think that's going to be enough. Okay. And then we'll put them away. These are so cool. Really liking these. And if you missed it, I showed using these last week on my live, and also I did a video, I think it was later the next day, or maybe, yeah, I think it was the next day. Oops, these are the wrong pens. Here we go. I'm using this big old water pen. It's the biggest one Stampin' Up! Has. So I'm just going to squeeze it, have some water come down, and get it all over the block. We're just going to take wide swipes across. And this is the Stampin' Up! Watercolor paper, which is fluid something. I'll show you in a minute. Yep, I didn't have enough. Probably either that or I put too much water. All right, let me get a little more. Shame on me. Thank you. A lot of it is that paper, but I do try and please. If it doesn't look good to me, I know it won't look good to anybody else. So, all right. I always wipe my tool thing off on a piece of paper toweling. Okay, let's do this again. Start at the bottom. It's going to be dark. There we go. There, that looks like sky, doesn't it? And that was the Night of Navy color. And now I'm going to clean my block. Get the color off of that. Put it away. And also always wipe your brushes clean. Squeeze some water down, you know, clean them till there's no more color coming out, kind of thing. Because otherwise your next project will have Night of Navy chalk on it. Okay, good enough for now. I'll probably do that better later. Okay, so this has to dry just a little bit. Has to get dry, especially around the edges. So I just wipe some of it off. Yeah, isn't that pretty? That could be like the sea. I actually just be careful though, because I just dabbed it and I, of course, dabbed some of the chalk off. I'm gonna, my dryer thing isn't out, so I'm just gonna shake it a little bit. While that's doing that, let's stamp our birthday wishes, which I cut out with the smallest of the scallop contours. Let's see if I have a scrap of white somewhere. I'm sure I do. Oh, yeah, where's that piece I had that I said we'll use that for something else later? Here you go. We'll stamp on here. And I stamped that in Misty Moonlight also. Birthday wishes. Still out of the garden birdhouses set. Am I in frame? A little bit, mostly. Kind of put that on there at a weird angle. All right. Clean the stamp. Put this. Do I stamp anything on the inside? No. All right. So we'll now die cut that with the smallest scallop contour die, which is this one right here. And this is item, well, it's in a bundle. It coordinates with the color and contour stamp, which is what I used last week. And the bundle number is 158356 if you're interested. It produced the flowery cards we did last week with the chalk, soft pastels it was called. All right, I need a little piece of that washi. And hopefully I won't get any garden green on here. I'll be right back. Thank you, Brandy. Yeah, I have my all my embossing stuff in a container, and my heat gun is with that. I really don't want to bring that over to my desk right now, but anyway, did I get that straight? Pretty much. All right, so we just have a couple little pokey things in there. And you could use the pokey end also, but sometimes it's just easier to take the brush to it. There we go. So all the little things are pokeyed out. And I'll put the die away. I'm going to let that sit for a little more while we get our card base. And this is the beautiful paper we're using. That's what's on the other side, which is Blushing Bride. That's just going to get glued right down to the card front. So it's cut at 5 1/4 by 4. My standard thing. Easy way to use paper. Cover your card fronts with it. All right. So put these away because they're in my way. And let's go ahead and do the inside, which is just a strip of the paper, making sure the flowers are going in the right direction along the left edge. So this is also 5 1/4 by 4. Sometimes on the inside I use a smaller, like 5 by 3 3/4, and you'll see that later when I need a. We saw that on the first card actually, when you need a back for it. Let's go ahead and put that in, and then hopefully our watercolor thing will be dry. Watercolor with soft pastels. Okay, let's try it. Let's see. It's not too bad. It's a little damp, but I don't want to use StazOn this time because I will tell you, see how yellowy that looks? That was the Saddle Brown StazOn, and I cleaned it with StazOn cleaner twice, and then I rubbed it on my chamois, and then I washed it under water in the sink and put a little Dawn on it, and it's still stained. It's usable, it's just stained. So we're going to stamp it in Early Espresso instead. Hopefully it will not bleed. The reason I use StazOn on this one is because I hadn't put the background down, and I thought, and I did use the chalk pastels to do those leaves. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to use blends, actually. And I want to go off the paper a little bit and up a little bit. There we go. Off the paper just a tad with that stem, because on this one the bottom stem didn't quite reach the edge of the paper. I'm pushing kind of hard because it's watercolor paper, so I want to make sure the color all goes on it. Thank you, Philomena. Yeah, pretty good. So it must be dry enough. All right, clean that off right away. And we're going to just use blends for the rest of it. Oh, actually I need that out because we have to do the birdhouse. Now this time we're going to do this little gazebo shaped birdhouse. But before we do that, there's this tiny little thing, which is like the rope hanging down from the branch. And I think I want it right here. And then there's like a little circle on it, and that is supposed to be what connects to your top of your birdhouse. So I'm going to do this first because I need to know how far down to put my birdhouse. And I didn't quite attach to the branch, so marker to the rescue. Just going to put a little bit of a itsy bitty line there, right there. And then, now I think I had stamped that in the brown, but I think I'm going to actually use the Misty Moonlight. You know what? No, I'll stamp it in brown and then I'll color the inner parts Misty Moonlight because I didn't really like how that looked. Oh, this is still too small. Well, we'll do it the same way. I'm going to have to go up on that rope a little bit because the birdhouse is too long. And I made the piece bigger. How did that happen? Oh well, it'll work. Just so my little loop is down inside the other part. But I'll color that in. All right, now let me show you something. I always get myself confused because these are Night of Navy, dark and light, and these are Misty Moonlight. And I am always thinking Night of Navy is darker than Misty Moonlight, but the color on the cases says otherwise. But these darker ones are the Misty Moonlight, dark and light. I guess because they already had these made this way, they had to go darker on here. I don't know. It confuses me. Anyway, let's take the dark blue and just do some of the edging. We'll actually fill in here where that little hooky thing is. And where this is, and we'll make it like that's the hook. There. I took creative license with their birdhouse design. Okay, and I'm just going down wherever these lines go are angled down. And probably this little ledge. And also the bottom. It does feel a little different when you're coloring on the chalky background. Okay. And then we're going to use the light to fill in the rest. Which will probably be darker than usual because it's on the chalky blue background, which actually is native navy back there. I'm going to kind of go around this edge a little bit. And then this. And one more. So we're having a blue and brown birdhouse this time. And I'm not really shading it. You can do better than me, but I think it'll look fine. Just figured birdhouses don't all have to be brown. Mine are, but... Oh, did you? Yeah, that's a good idea. Now, we are going to stamp another bird, and we're just going to have them stand right on this birdhouse. The birds in this set, 2 of them face that way. Oh, we didn't do the leaves yet either. And one faces that way, and they're all standing. None of them are flying. So I have him here. And I actually did him in Misty Moonlight also. Because he's a bluebird. Another bluebird. I'm having bluebird night. His little talons will go there. I didn't know where to put them because none of them were like, you know, looking down at the birdhouse. So when I was looking in the catalog, some of theirs were done like that. All right, so now I'm going to use light Misty Moonlight again, just to do the top of his body. I might take a black and do his little eye again. Where's my light black? Light black. Just dot that eye a little bit. There we go. And then I had used pale papaya. Just put that in the wrong place, didn't I? Yes. Whew. Oops, sorry. Throwing stuff at you. Yeah. I don't have patience to do that. I think I'm going to use dark pale papaya, which seems so weird to say that. And then we have to do our leaves. There we go. Just do his little belly there. All right. Now, the leaves. Actually, in that paper, it looks like mint macaron. So let's do that. We'll use dark mint macaron this time. See how it comes out. Now, let me close up my ink first. And I have to do the branch too. That way, this will match the paper better. Which has Misty Moonlight, Mint Macaron, Highland Heather, and some other colors in it. I forget. Now you could do all this coloring with your chalk pastels if you wanted to, since it's on watercolor paper. I was just being a little lazy. No, I wasn't. I was just trying to get more cards done today for y'all than anyway. And I was in a panic about a collab that has to go up at 7 in the morning tomorrow, because I thought I had done the card, but apparently I either didn't record the video or I never uploaded the video, but I found the card, so I have to just re-record the video. That shouldn't take too long. Later tonight, so I can get it up on time in the morning. Oh yeah. And then I'm actually going to bring in that dark early espresso and just color in this branch. Oops. That one you have to use the brush end. I always forget. Because we don't have, you know, you could use soft suede, or you could use, what's the other one we have? Bronze, or you could use, soft suede. Crumb cake. Crumb cake is the other one. But I think I like that better. Okay. And that's the Stampin' Right markers. So that is all colored. Now we're going to get our Misty Moonlight Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. It's Misty Moonlight and Silver Baker's Twine. And we're going to wrap it around right over here. I do see the bird is bleeding a little bit, like the blends seem to be bleeding just a little bit on this, and maybe it wasn't quite dry enough. I don't know. And we're going to wrap this around here by going like this. Hopefully this will stick since the paper's dampish. Oh, hi Hildy. It's all right. We're on card 2. This is what we're doing. And we just did the watercolor part of the card and coloring. And I am just going to make sure I'm not over too far. I am over a little bit too far. Just going to wrap this around 3 times. Now, when I did this originally, there was a reason I did it. I'll tell you that in a minute. Let me get this wrapped around first. And you don't want it too tight because, see, it's pulling it. You need to make sure there's enough room there that it can lay flat. All right, let me get, my fingers are sticking. Let me snips and put that away. Oh, I needed that again. The reason I did it on this one is, remember I said those branches don't go all the way to the edge? So I figured I'd wrap that around and then tie a bow right here. But I didn't like the way the bow looked, so I knew it was going to be a double bow. So I just cut the ends, and I like that better because I feel like it makes it look more like flight, like birds in flight, you know? I don't know, like the wind blowing the wing. I don't know. My mind goes a little wacky sometimes. But I'm going to do that again because I like how that looks. So we're just going to get maybe a little shorter this time. Length about this long. I don't know, 6 inches doubled over. So 6 and 6, right? 12-inch piece maybe. And then we're just going to tie a knot around here, right at the branch. And actually, we're going to get a glue dot and tack it down. Tack that whole little thing down there. I'll just use my scissors. And stick it under there. Hopefully it'll stick. Push that down. And then cut this end also. And now we have little flying things. And we'll snip off a little bit. I don't like it hanging down below this part of the card. And there, that's what I did. So something different to do with the twine or ribbon, you know. I'm tired of doing the same things. And then, I don't know if you can see this. I bumped this up on these foam adhesive sheets, which we're going to do again. However, I had put it over the twine in the back to hopefully keep it held on better. I'm not going to do that this time because it's kind of flipping it up just a little bit at the end there. So yeah, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to make sure I only bring this to the twine and maybe a 1/4 inch in over here. Thank you, Hildy. And these, I'd already cut this for before, so I might take another little piece of the end off of here and put it along here too. And I actually cut it on my cutter, which is why it's so nice and straight. But I'm going to go to the twine and then to just a little bit in from the edge there and put that down. And I like these for bigger pieces like this if you're going to bump them up, because it keeps them nice and even. And then I'm going to cut this in half, this piece here I had here, and just put that here. And maybe another little bit here. And now that should lay pretty flat and even. The only thing is we're going to need that little bit I just used or had left, because the dimensionals are not quite as high. So when we put this down, we're going to need a little piece here and a piece over here. So let's go ahead and put this piece over here. And then I need to get, I have this little piece in here I can cut up. It just seems like it's a little bit higher than the dimensionals. And now I just need like a little square. And that has to go in the bottom corner here. Right here. I hope that's not too big. All right, let's try to assemble. Final assembly here. I'm not sure I'm liking how that's laying. There. Okay, let's take this off. Nice big sheet. Plus you don't have to sit here and peel, 50 bazillion dimensional stickers. So these foam adhesive sheets are awesome. Upper corner here. You might want to, this is 3 by 4. You might want to make it 3 1/4 by 4, just to make sure you have enough room for your birdhouse. I thought I made it bigger, but apparently still not big enough. I don't know. And then what we're going to do is put this like this so that that piece over there butts up against this. So I just need a little bit of glue right up here. Bye, Heather. Feel better, hon. Yes, do that. I will probably be there right after I'm done tonight, since I was up so late. I mean, so early. Okay, and one last thing is, again, the blue. I'm using these blues because I always forget I have them. And I got the blues tonight. No, I'm kidding. And I'll use a big one. Maybe I'll use a big one. Okay. It's being stubborn. Come on, buddy. Wow. That's really stubborn. I'm going to put that right up here. It's not really over far enough, but I'm going to use another. Because they're the ones I don't use as often. And I'll put that. Actually, I'm going to change it. No, I don't want it on there. I'll put it over here. Okay. And that card, I guess it's okay with the mint. I actually kind of like, this was Granny Apple Green from the Chalk Pastels. I kind of like that better in the leaves, but yeah, well, tried something new. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. And it wasn't that hard, just a little, takes a little time, that's all. Not too much, just more time letting the paper dry than anything. So those are the last 2 cards. And it does lay better if you don't put, I'm not seeing any bump up here. It lays better if you don't put that stuff over the twine in the back. Learned my lesson there. So take a quick intermission. I am going to put these stamps away because I have to bring all my other stuff up from the floor. I'll let you look at these pretty cards while I do that. There's the 2 cards we did already. And I'm also out of blocks, except for 1 or 2, because I used a lot of blocks. I hope that doesn't make me a blockhead. Yeah, I'm being silly. I'm being silly. Now, you can see how these are now with the design on there. I still, most of the time, put them on my larger sheet, my thicker sheet, I guess I should call it. But honestly, it slides around and they don't always line up exactly, but it's okay because as long as they're about in the right place. So the main reason is just so I can make sure I have all my stamps. And here's what the birdie we used. This is the only birdie out of the 1, 2, 3 that faces the direction that we faced it. I just got that one on top there. And here's the pole. And here's birthday wishes. This is a really nice set. Has nice sentiments in it. 3 different styles of birdhouses. We didn't use the long, tall one. I would have really had a problem if I used that on the second card. And then I still have the flimsy sheet and I still stick it on top of there. So let me get these blocks off of my desk. Then we'll move on to the next set of projects with a different set. Okay, oops, one more. I have a drawer that I keep all my blocks. Like I have those clear plastic pull-out drawers, and there's 2 sets of 3, and the blocks are in all in one. Okay, so we're going to move on to, I guess we'll do the most complicated one first, because if I get tired, the easy ones will be better to have at the end. We're going to make a wild cat card now. Oh, thank you, Hildy. You're welcome, Heather. She's probably gone now. This is what we're doing. All right. So this is the Wildcats bundle. That one's for the second card. This is for this card. This is for this card. This is for this card. And this is for the second card. So, and we're going to also use this animal print embossing folder, the Wildcats bundle, and the designer series paper. So on this card, the only thing I used the designer series paper for was to cut this out. Here's that paper, and there's where I cut it from. The problem I have is there was another one here, but his head was off, right? Off with his head. And I don't know which way this went. I don't know how it went. It didn't go there. Anyway, it went here. There's only one, and then there's another piece missing here, but there's like a half of one I cut out over here. We're going to use now. So he's going to have to move over a little further because I only have half of his body. And then we'll just rearrange the other stuff. But this is the paper, and these colors are Crushed Curry, Mary Merlot. I think that's soft succulent. I've never seen a soft succulent colored tiger in my life. And this one, maybe there could be. That's Calypso. What's it called? Cajun Craze with Mary Merlot. So I die cut this one, and I didn't want to cut into another sheet of paper. And I have all the bits and bobs somewhere here, but we have to do some stamping. We're using basic white vertical card base. 5.5 inches by 4 1/4. So it's actually 11 inches scored at 5.5 and 4 1/4 that way. We have a 3 3/4 by 5. We're going to stamp on and stuff. And this is Mary Merlot, which I've already run through the animal print embossing folder. It is not a 3D embossing folder, so you use on the Stampin' die cut machine that Stampin' Up! Has, you just use your base plate and your 2 cutting plates without plate 2 under them And that's how you do the standard embossing folders. So I think that came out really cute. Although that's like a leopard print and tigers, but it doesn't show that much. It's kind of behind there. So we're going to set that aside. Now we're going to get out some scrap paper and do some stamping first. Thank you, Philomena. Which one next? The blue one? Or the wild beastie cat? Alright, so we're going to use crushed curry and Mary Merlot. And we're going to use Evening Evergreen. Evening Evergreen. I'm going to move this out of the way. And the first one we're going to use is this piece here. I don't know if you can see it. It makes to make this stuff hanging down. This is actually, let me show you this in the catalog. I'm actually casing a card. I should mention that. This whole suite is on page 44 and 45 in the annual catalog. And this is the card I'm casing on page 44. It's a little different than mine, and they actually did their own tiger, which we're going to do on the next card. So you can see how to do that. All right. So I'm going to do the crushed curry first. And all I do is kind of go up and down a little bit. I'm going to leave a little room in between because I'm going to come back in with Mary Merlot. So I'm going to clean that stamp. You like mine better? Thank you. I like mine better too. But I'm a little bit biased. I think they actually had a little more, they did their bottom different, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. All right, so now this is Mary Merlot, which is a really deep red, almost like a burgundy. I'm going to actually put another one in there. And go up a little bit on that one and that one. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, now, and they didn't use any vellum and I did. Now though, we still have to stamp. And we're stamping this plant thing because you have to have something behind your tiger, right? Like he's sitting amidst the stuff, and they had some things coming up out of here, but then there was something dark over here. I don't know what it was, but I'm using this plant, and I'm going to be stamping full strength and also off. I'm just mixing it up a little bit. Oops. Yeah. Go off. I'm going to go down a little bit because, and I'm actually going to then go up a little bit there. Okay. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do the whole area because when I didn't do that, what happened was you could see white underneath, and I didn't like that. Underneath the pieces we're going to put on top. Oops, that one kind of got funny. And it's okay if it kind of looks like a hot mess because we're going to cover it up. There we go. So that's our hot mess that the tiger is going to sit in. Probably is a hot mess if he's in the jungle, right? I'm going to leave that Evening Evergreen out. So here's my cut in half tiger. I figured I can still use them. I just have to put them over here, right? And that's our next step. We're going to glue him down. I almost didn't get this set because I wasn't thrilled with the colors, like the animals. Who's ever seen like a green tiger, right? But you know what? Artistic license. We can be creative with it. And while I cut him out, I cut out a green tiger because I could. because we had the dies for it. So I have to figure out what I want to do with a green tiger, but not tonight. All right, so I have gone ahead. We're going to stamp another one of these and die cut it because I have gone ahead and done 4 of them. On this one, I had 4. I think I need 1 more. I die cut some pieces out of the shimmer, in color shimmer vellum, and this is the evening evergreen. I have 3 of those. I did not stamp on them. I just used the die. And then I have 2 crushed curry, 3 Murray Merlot. I thought I had 3 crushed curry. Oh well. And 2 of these little spiky things in vellum. And we also have to die cut, which I forgot to do, 3 pieces of this. This little piece here was off the end of one of these other pieces. So we need that die as well. All right, let's first stamp this so I can close my ink. I have this little piece of soft succulent. I'm going to use evening evergreen. I'm going to probably have to turn a little bit so I can get the die on there. And then I can close my ink, and then I need to find a scrap of evening evergreen. Here's one. And so the dies are here. This is the die that I used to cut out the tiger, and this is the one that cut out the green tiger. That's the other thing with the paper. These dies, they don't give you one for each direction. They only give you some. Like there's, hang on. Like that's the direction the green tiger was facing. See, this one is the exact same, but he's facing the opposite direction. So I might be able to do it if I put it upside down somehow on my die cutting machine. And there's no die for the lazy tigers, the ones taking a break. And also, this one is the mirror image. He's facing the different direction than this one. So I haven't figured that out yet. If I do, I'll let you know. And if you know already, let me know if there's a way to die cut them with the same dies accurately. Hi, Julia. Welcome. We're playing with the Wild Cats bundle. I need to die cut 3 of these plus this, which I'm going to put tape on for this. My tape that I used earlier, washi tape. Because I think we're going to need 1 more of these, and I just want to be ready. This card is probably the longest one, and the next 2 will be quick, I promise. Pretty quick. Pretty quick. I think that's enough. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn around on my machine and die cut the first one of these plus this. I'll be right back. I'm right here. And I'm using plate, the base plate, and plates 2, 3, and 3 in my big machine. But these will fit in your small machine too. You just have to cut the paper down. You'd have to have long strips of this paper, you know, cut this way to fit in the mini. And there's that one. And let me pop this out of here so I can use it again. Because I need to. That's the only thing. If you want to do this, you have to die cut them over and over again because there's not multiples of the same die. Unfortunately. Oops. So let me go do those 2. Not ready to have an avalanche over here. An avalanche. How are you doing, Julia? I haven't seen you for a while, except on Judy's channel, I guess, now and then. Is it hot in Alaska like it is in Washington and, let's see, Oregon, I think was the other place, like here, only I think they have it even worse. All right, so we've got 3 of those, and they're textured on the front side. I got some white dots on them because there was white dots on my, oops, there we go, on my thing. And we can put that away. And we have this one. Oh, 66 Fahrenheit? Wow, I want that. Well, I'll have that tomorrow night. But tomorrow's still going to be in the 80s, even though we're getting thunderstorms. But that'll feel nice because it's 10 degrees cooler than what we have right now. All right, so we've got 5 of these, 3 of these, and these little pieces. We're going to go ahead and do the top things first. And I'm going to use contraband glue because of the point. Oh, if you have a glue thing with this metal tip, be really careful pulling your stainless steel or whatever needles out. I went to pull one out this morning, down in like that, and the ball came off. So I had to get my jewelry pliers and try and get the very tip of that metal and pull it out, which I did successfully, and then luckily I had another pin. Anyway, that is not sold by Stampin' Up. So you just want to get the curvature right. I'm going to do this one first. And I'm just going to glue it to about here, and then I'm going to cut that off. So to about there. And this, because it has a fine tip, now Stampin' Up has a fine tip glue. I fight with it every time I try and use it, so I don't use it very often. So sorry to say that, but it's the truth. And we'll go over to there, and down to there. And then I'm just going to take my non-ribbon scissors and snip that little bit off. And save that because we'll probably end up using that up in the corner. One of them we will. Now we'll just cross over that and go like this. I'll look up in a minute. Sorry, guys. This one's a little more involved, you know. Not too bad though, right? It's easier than it looked in the catalog. It just takes a little time. How's that song go? Time's on my side. Ha ha ha. Not always. It just rained in Georgia. It's supposed to rain here tonight. Yay. We go in spells. It seems like we get 3 days of rain, 3 days of sunshine, or sometimes 2 days of sunshine, 3 more days of rain. I don't know. All right. And then we'll do this one, which probably doesn't need as much glued. Oops. Okay, that goes up here too. We'll make that one meet this one here. Now we have a little, I think we'll use what's left off this piece and just do the corner. Now on this one, we could do both corners because we have 2 little bits. I think we will. I think I'll put this one over here. I don't like to waste stuff. I think my mom put that into my head. Don't waste. But I don't know. And then this little piece we can stick up here in this corner. That's what we'll do. And then I also think before I put all the pieces on the front and the bottom, I'm going to stamp the hello. Because I don't want to get all those pieces on and then have a disaster, which could happen because it's me, you know. All right, I don't need this piece of scrap here. And I need Mary Merlot again, and I need the hello. Where'd my hello go? Here it is. Thank you, Julia, for the thumbs up. Thank you, everybody who's done that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So nice to have friends to stamp with. Even if you aren't here. If you were here, there wouldn't be really any room, so it's probably better you're not here. Plus, I look a hot mess. I probably have big dark circles under my eyes. I'm going to leave this glue out, and I'm going to use it again. Okay, now to add the layers. And it's really just a matter of playing. So we're gonna put one right here to cover up. He sort of has a flat part on his butt. And I'm gonna glue that, oops. I'm gonna glue that down. So this was Soft Succulent stamped in Evening Evergreen. And I'll probably glue that all the way down. There we go. And then we'll bring in some vellum pieces. Now you probably could put these down with glue dots or tape runner, but I'm just using a little bit of this glue and it seems to hold okay because it's going to be under, and I'm not going all the way up to the top. I'm going to slide it over just a little bit though. There will be a little bit of room there because it's going to go on that Mary Merlot piece, and then we're going to stick one of these in and glue it down right in about here. And maybe like that. There we go. All right. And then we'll have one of these, but I don't want to glue that down just yet. So I think we'll have, maybe we'll, I don't want these to be on top because they don't really have any picture on them. So I'm going to put that here, but I think I need another one of these over here, and that's why I wanted another one. And then let me bring this one in and see. Let me see how it's going to look. You don't really need to put one there. That one's kind of messed up a little bit. And that's why I stamped the card on the bottom. We also have these little pieces. But I think I'm going to go ahead and glue the vellum down, and I actually think I'm going to glue some of these off the edge and cut them. So it's just really arranging and seeing how you like things. I'm going to stick a yellow one up in here. Give it a little pop of color. Let's see, maybe right in here. And I think we'll put one of these Mary Merlot ones over here. Right in there. Okay, and now we'll put these down. And I'm just gluing them about halfway up. Let's see, I want that one to be over a little bit. I think I'm going to put that one over towards the edge as well, because I don't like that white spot there. My cat is up here. I think she's snoring. She's on her chair now. Callie came to see us, but she's already snoring. Wheezing is more like it. We'll put this here. And then actually, we'll put this other maroon one maybe tucked in here. Or actually, I have it just out in the open, but I'm going to tuck it right there. And I have one more yellow one. And we'll do the same thing. We'll put that front and center here. Right here. And I have a couple little vellum pieces. I think I'm going to save them, maybe use them on the next card. So that is the front. Except I need my Mary Merlot piece that I had done. What did I do in my base? Remember? Oh, here it is. It's under the other one. Phew. Okay, so basic white card base, Mary Merlot matte, and this goes on top of there like that. Not so hard, right? Hi, Chris. Welcome. Thank you. So let's just glue this all together. Now I'll switch back to the proper glue by Stampin' Up. The Tombow, because I have a bigger area to cover. Now I didn't cut that off. Let me see how far it goes out over the Mary Merlot, which was embossed with the animal print embossing folder for those coming in later. This is the Wild Cats bundle. We did a little stamping. This is part of the DSP. All these bits are either stamped and then die cut or just die cut. Some of them using the shimmery vellum in the in colors. And I have just a couple places, like right here. I'm going to cut that off. And right over here, I'm going to cut these off too. Because I don't want them sticking out from my card. Oops. All right, and then we'll glue this down. And then, by the way, this is the new host code starting today. If you have placed an order with me since March, more than $25, or 2 months of Paper Pumpkin, I put you on the list to get the new mini catalog and celebration brochure. Demonstrators can pre-order tomorrow. All right, we're going to do a little stamping in here. There's my evening evergreen again. Thank you very much. I like it too. I'm a cat person though. And the colors are okay, except the green tigers. I don't know. So here we're just going to do the same thing, except we're going to stamp off. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do on the inside. And we're going to back that on Mary Merlot. Um, 4 1/4 by 5, and no, 5 1/4 by 4, and this is 5 by 3 3/4. Just feel like if we're going to layer up the front so much, the back needs to be sturdier too, and that's why I'm doing the matte. Plus, I just think it looks nicer that way. See, just looks nicer, and it makes it a sturdier card. Because if you don't, this feels really flimsy compared to the front. So, I mean, if you don't have a lot of layers on the front, then you don't need to do that. But I have a lot on the front of that card. There we go. That's card number 3. First card with the Wildcats, though. So, quick summary. Here was card 2. That's the one we did. And here's card 1. These were using Garden Birdhouse and the hand pen papers. So we're using Wildcats now. So that was the most complicated card. We're going to move on to the next card. Hi, Callie. You moved off your chair. Now she's right behind my chair wheel. Yikes. I need another block. This one we're going to stamp the tiger. This time we're using Very Vanilla cardstock, and we're going to stamp on Very Vanilla, and we're going to use this beautiful paper, also out of the Wildcat bundle. Has fur on the other side in Cajun Craze, but I think this is really pretty. And so the first thing we're going to do is put this textured weave ribbon, chevron weave ribbon, excuse me, 3/8 inch. It's item 155722. And we're going to glue right about there and there and just have it go down the side. I don't know. I just felt like I needed something there. Yes, has a lot of dimension. That first one does. I mean, third card. First Wildcat card. And that was casing a card on page, I forget, the page that has the wildcats on. I mentioned it earlier. Probably page... Nope, I didn't write it on my stamp set yet either. Usually I write the page numbers that the stamp sets are on the stamp set itself. Okay, what I do with the ribbon? Right in front of my nose. It's right in front of my nose. Now this paper is directional. That's why I keep flipping it over and checking, because I want to make sure I have the paper going the same way. And I'm bringing in my silicone mat, which is a little dirty, but to make sure this doesn't stick to, and I'm actually going to tack this down a little bit in the middle. Maybe. There we go. Is it straight? Not really. Not really. This was the paper that I tore on the back with the Seal Plus. So just so you know, you might not want to use Seal Plus on the back of this paper. It is a thinner, it's not like as thick as cardstock, but I've actually torn cardstock with that. The Nuvo? Nuvo what? The glue? I don't have that. I have art glitter glue is what I use for the fine stuff. I have some Nuvo, but it's like drops to make bling. But I don't use that on my Stampin' Up! Demos. Okay, so now we can just glue this down to our very vanilla A2 size card base. Thank you, Julia. Thank you. That's what I'm here for. To try and inspire. I won't even say teach, but to inspire. And hopefully get some sales along the way. Because, did I show you my wish list for the new catalog? Yeah, which I'm probably going to place my order, my first pre-order tomorrow. But don't get your hopes, I'm sorry, Callie. Don't get your hopes up, because I am not going to rush order the shipping, because it just costs too much. I don't have enough money. All right, so this is another piece of Very Vanilla, and we're gonna stamp our tiger base in crushed curry. So this one, we're not cutting them out of the paper. We're gonna actually stamp them, hopefully get them right. Even with that air conditioner on, I am like, whew, hot. Well, actually, for the month of July, there's 15% off designer paper. I went over that in the beginning, so if you missed that, you might have to watch the replay, and that is July 1st, tomorrow, through, I think, August 2nd or something like that. And it's some of the papers, a good many of them, in the annual catalog. Now, I'm going to get Memento Tuxedo Black. And this one. And there's two sets of stripes. There's the stripe for his body, and I thought, well, his head doesn't look right. And there's this little funny looking thing that's for his head. And it took me a little bit to figure out how this goes. So it kind of goes like the fat part, I don't know how to say it. The two skinny long pieces looking things, they have to go over here. And you just kind of line it up down his spine, as best I can tell. I think I actually got it a little bit off here. Like these should have been up here further. But it doesn't look terrible. He just has a little stripe on his belly fur. So let's see if we can get that up a little further this time. He's still going to have a stripe on his belly fur. Oh well. Here we go. Well, they're up further, but now it's not as close to his back. It's all right. It'll work. Animals' colorings are all different, right? And then let me show you this on a scrap, what this looks like. Well, maybe not that way. So it really looks strange, right? But this little triangle here, that's his nose. So once we stamp that and find that, that's your lineup point, his nose, and then these little bits up here will be his ears. And that's how we line it up. Hopefully. That's how I did it the first time. But we'll see if I can do it while I'm on camera. I don't know. Let's try. I don't know. I might have got it off a little bit. I did. I got him crooked. Let's try him again. It's hard to see because I have all these lights and the camera right there. All right. And you know, I'm not the best two-step stamper, but we're trying. We're trying. We'll get it. All right. Let's do his body again first. And it sort of curves. So I don't think I'm going to quite go up as high as I did that time. I got it the same as last time. I thought I was higher. All right, let me find his nose again. Let me see. Let me stand up and see if I can line up his nose better. The black dot is his nose, Callie, and then his ears. Yep. Going for it. I don't know. Better, much better. I think that looks all right. What do you think? Now I'm going to die cut him. That was the hardest part of the card. So once you get that part done, it's not so bad. And if I can do it, eventually you can do it too. All right, so this is the die. My cat. My cat. He wonders who I'm talking to. He's down here looking up at me like, what, Mommy? You're talking. What do you want? You can go down with Christopher. Go ahead. I'm going to put a little bit of tape on him. Tony the Tiger, right. That's right. Hear me roar. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to turn around. Now, you also, in this set, have spots, so you can make a leopard or some other kind of spotted animal. I'll do that the next time I use it. And they look funky just like the stripes do. It's just a matter of lining them up. Maybe a little better than I did. I did his head pretty good that time, though. See? He looks good. Now, we're going to use this again, this scrap, because we have to stamp, thanks, You're the Beast. You're the Beast, as soon as I find it. I don't know where I put the stamp. Is this it? Yes. Okay. And I'm going to do that in Evening Evergreen. Thank you. Hi, honeybees. Yeah, I'm using Wildcats, but in the beginning we did 2 cards with Hand Pen DSP and the Garden Birdhouses. This is our second Wildcats. At the end, I'll show all the cards. Now, I looked through my dies, and the one that I liked the best with that, and my punches too, was this stitched rectangle die. This one that's all by itself. it was the best fit I felt on that little, thanks, although it's crooked right there, but oh, I have pieces here. Okay, so let me try and straighten it out. I am not seeing straight tonight. All right, we're missing Paige. I hope she's okay. She hasn't been feeling real good. Okay, I'm going to run that through the machine. The machine. The boss. The big boss. As opposed to the mini boss. My chair is squeaking like crazy. I need a new chair or two. And a new sofa and a new car. And a new car will be sometime next year, hopefully. All right, let me put my die away. From the Stitched Rectangles dies. Some of them fit it okay, but they were just a little too long or too tall, and I didn't want all that extra space. Now, my intention the first time was to have him stand right at the bottom of that, but all this is going to get bumped up. All of it. So he's going to get bumped up. Look, he even has a cute little bow on his head on the other side from my boo-boo. Put one here, and I'm going to put one here, and put one at his paws, I think. Actually, I'm going to take that one back off. Not sure about that one yet. I'm going to put that one on here. And there's the mess up tiger. All right, and I'll put one in the middle just because. So I'm going to take these off, but then the placement, I have to put the tiger back on there to see. You turn your phone sideways so you can make the picture bigger. Yeah, I know. Am I blurry to you? So I'm just going to put him in the middle. And he's going to go about like that. Let me see how he fits. So we're going to put glue right here. Right down this part. And there. Brush that in a little bit. And then take these off. There we go. And the last thing, well, other than the inside, is we're going to use these Playing with Pattern resin dots, because this color is crushed curry, which is what he's made out of. He's made out of curry. So, did I do? I put a big one on the bottom there. Get them up. I like these resin dots because they lay, you know, relatively flat. And then I'll just put one, I think right there. Yeah, right there. There. And that's that. Now on the inside, I just put a piece of, did I stamp anything? No, I didn't do any stamping, but I did put a piece of Evening Evergreen and Very Vanilla just to, again, make it sturdy. How are you doing, honeybees, Tashana? Nice to have everybody here. Thank you for joining me. We have one more card. The next one, though, we're going to use the paper from Wildcats, but we're going to use a different stamp set. Okay, so that's card number 4. That one. He's pretty. I like him. All right. And here comes card number 5. Oops, I just dropped the stamp. It's going to be him or it, whatever it is. And that is from the Back on Your Feet, which is a carryover from last year's annual. We're using this guy. Is he called a sloth? I never know. Yeah, you'll get to see another one. So this time we're using that stamp set, and we're using the Hippo and Friends dies. I rarely use these, but it seemed to work for that guy this time. So we'll use them. And we're using the In Color jewels, which I know are not orderable right now. And this is my only pack, and I'm running out of them, but we're going to use them anyway. And we're using Soft Succulent as the card base. We are going to use, this is a scrap to stamp on, and so is this. And that goes for the inside. And here's our card mat. So the card mat's 5 1/4 by 4. This is 5 by 3 3/4. We're going to go ahead and glue that together. The other side's pretty too. I like that side. So if you ever need inspiration, watch me, or actually what I was going to say is go through the catalog, because there's always inspiration, or online. If you look at the items, they usually have pictures. When you click on the item and you go, there's like multiple pictures of stuff. You can look in there if you don't have a catalog. I don't have any. I do have some annual catalogs. I don't have any yet of the upcoming mini. But if you placed orders with me, like I said, between now let me see, did I did not. Okay, so we have some stamping to do for him. Yeah, the sloth. Okay, I'm gonna stamp him in Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'm going to turn it this way and stamp them right in the middle. I will need to make sure I get good coverage. I just realized I forgot to color in his long claws. Yikes. There. All right, let me clean my stamp. Scrubby dubby dub. I have a mess. And let's see, what did I stamp with on the inside? I used Evening Evergreen on the inside. Let's bring that and still go ahead and stamp that, and we'll get all our stamping. Well, and also I have these little pieces. So this is, I believe, 3 inches by 1/2 inch. Maybe it's 3 1/4. I'm sorry, 2 3/4, and this is 3 inches. This one's 3 inches by 3/4 inch, and this one is 2 3/4 inch by 1/2 inch. And we're going to stamp on them. Actually, let's do that first. In Evening Evergreen. And we're just going to stamp Sigh. Kind of right in the middle if I can. I don't know. And hopefully straightish. Not bad. It'll do. And then we're going to use the lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch, and we're using the sort of flattish end. And this should fit. It must be just slightly bigger than 1/2 inch. Oh well. And there we go. And then we're going to do that at one end of this one as well, which is 3/4 inch. And that's it for that. Okay, and then we're just going to glue them together. I'm leaving the ink open because we're going to do the inside too. And then we have to color our sloth. He's very sloth-like. And he has a boo-boo. He has a boo-boo. Okay, so that's ready to go on. And we'll stamp on the inside. Sometimes that's all there is to say, and that I'm here for you. Oh, poor Slothy. And we'll go ahead and stamp that somewhere up here. Oops, have to stand up. Right there, going for it. And then we can close our ink. Oh, thank you. I hope so. A lot of you are too that have channels. I don't often get to watch everybody, but I try and stop by now and then. Just because all these collabs and everything else I have going on, plus my other channel, keep me a little busy. Keep me a little busy. Plus the house, you know, I got stuff to do, which I ignore. All right, let's put the inside in on our soft succulent card base. This particular piece of white then is 4 1/4 by 4 by 5 1/4, excuse me. And that's just a 1/2 inch strip by 5 1/4 of that paper from the Wildcats, because they're wild. And this will place on as soon as we color Slothy. Okay, so Slothy, we'll just call him Slothy. He's colored in light and dark gray granite, which to me is like a cross between crumb cake and a gray. And we're also going to use, what did I use? I used soft succulent, light and dark for the leaves. And I used bronze for the tree branch, the thing that he's laying on. Let's do that first. And I think I used balmy blue. I just went out of lines. Oopsie. Balmy blue for his bandage, and then I used a color lifter to take some of it off again in the center of it. I think that has a cool look. So that's it for the branch. Pretty easy there. And then dark soft succulent. You could use the evergreen if you wanted to also. I was thinking too, you know, the in color gems keep going out of stock, but if you have the clear rhinestones and you were able to order the Stampin' blends, we have them for all 5 of the in colors. You can color your rhinestones the color of the in colors. I mean, yeah, the in colors, the new in colors. So that is an option until the gems are back in stock anyway. They're a little bigger than the new in color gems, but not that much. Alrighty. I'm going to do his bandages first because I almost forgot they were there. And, oh, look what that happened. That's the second time that happened. It might have been the same one. Huh. Weird. My whole tip pulled out. I'm going to maybe I'll use Pool Party this time. I guess I need to get a new Balmy Blue or figure out why that's happening. All right, Pool Party. We use Pool Party. All right. So be careful with your tips. Maybe I opened it wrong one time or something. I don't know. And I'm going to go around the edges. All right. That's just weird. And then we'll color it in a Pool Party. And then to make it look a little more rounded and, well, the pool party is a little lighter, but I just like to go in the middle with the color lifter and lift a little more even. It takes a minute for that to work. All right, let's put them away, and now we'll do Slothy. He has a name. And there goes that. So Slothy is done in gray granite. And I'm really just following the artist's, you know, wherever his dark little bits of fur is in concentrated areas, that's where I'm doing a little bit of dark. And right here. And down this leg. And his belly. Am I putting you all to sleep? I'll tell you, like I said in the beginning, I'm pretty tired too. I need to get better sleep myself. And just more of it. More of it at the same time. And then I'm just going with light. I think I use the dark also on his little mask. I've never seen a sloth, so I don't really know what their coloring is like. But his nose almost looks like a pig nose there. That's a bigger area there. But I think we will do his really long claws. Wow. They'd probably hurt, huh? They're a lot longer than my cat's claws, that's for sure. Alrighty, and let me see. I'll use light basic black. Oh, I forgot to do the dark. Oh, don't let me forget to do his face now. And this is light basic black for his claws. Good thing he didn't break a claw. He just must have a boo-boo. He might have fallen down. I don't know. I'm making up stories about a fictitious sloth. So what projects are you guys working on? Inquiring mind wants to know. This is again the dark gray granite. Just going around this part. His raccoon face. It's a raccoon sloth. I don't know if they exist. There we have it. Now we just have to bring in the Hippo and Friends dies, which I thought I had out, which I do. And we're using, I think, the two largest ones. Yes. So we cut him out first. It. Oh, you guys are sweet. Thank you. I had this set for a long while, and I did a really fun card, which is my most, I actually did put it on my blog, but it was with the turtle. I like turtles. And I'm not sure I ever used I think I used the kangaroo once. I think that's not centered right. But I never used the sloth, so it's his turn. And I just thought when I looked at the designer paper is that straight? I think that's straighter. I'll hold it up once I get this on. No, it's not straight. not straight. A little more that way. All right, that's straighter. All right, I'm gonna turn around, die cut that, and then I need a piece of the evergreen. Lucky I have just enough left on that piece. I die cut those things from the last card on 2 cards ago. I hope that fits. Yeah, it might not be big enough. Hang on. Oh, goodness me. What did I do? I need another piece of evening evergreen. Here's one. I got one. That one wasn't quite big enough. And that doesn't need to be centered. All right, turning around, die cutting. Let me know what you're working on. I want to know. Who should I watch next? Who's got a really cool project going? But it won't be tonight that I'm watching because I have to record another video and at least start to save, edit to save it and get some stuff up for tomorrow. Tomorrow is July 1st, so from the Stampin' Up's point of view, it's demonstrator pre-orders and it's the first day of our designer series paper sale. And from collab perspective, we have lovely ladies at I think 7 a.m. Eastern as a video. See, this tape is tearing this paper. Ugh, drives me nuts. So I try and carefully peel it off the part I die cut. I don't worry about the rest too much. Except I do like to try and use the space around it too. Anyway, and then we have House Mouse at 10 a.m. Eastern. All right, so now that just gets glued onto there. And we already stamped the inside, right? I'll show you all 5 cards at the end. After we get these on. This is going, this one's getting glued down once I have this up on dimensionals. And oh, you know what? On this one, I wrapped that textured weave ribbon around it again, but you can barely see it. So I'm not going to worry about that this time. Graduation invites is your project. Oh, who's graduating? My granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter, is going to be a senior next year. I just like, what? How can that be? But she is 16, so I guess she'll be graduating at 17. I did too. That's kind of early. Somewhere I lost a year. I thought she was going to be going into 11th grade. Yeah. 2020 was the year I lost, I guess. I hope they have a regular school year next year because this year was brutal for both the parents and the kids. All right. And now we will use our 3 of our last 4. I think I used the soft succulent. I did. Blings. So I have a few more of those. Not too many. And use one here. He's just chilling over his branch. Taking a Tylenol for the pain. And I think that is our card. Except we had to use Pool Party because my silly Stampin' Blend came apart. That was really weird. All right, so that was card. I know this is the one we did because of the Pool Party, but it still looks all right. And that was card 5. 4. Masterpiece 3. A green tiger for another time. And then these were garden birdhouses. This was our second card. And using the hand pen papers and some watercolor and our soft pastels. And also blends. And this was the other one, the first card. And this used also the scallop contour dies. And silver ribbon and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, you can rewatch them if you missed them. Thank you very much. Oh, a friend of yours daughter is graduating? Okay. Cool. So I really appreciate. What's your favorite card? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? I really like them all tonight. I don't always, but I don't know. The last couple times I've made cards, like the chalk pastel ones, I really liked all of them too. Anyway. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. Why is that so off center, huh? Move them over, Deb. Move them over. Don't forget, here's the new host code for any orders in the month of June under 150. Designer Series paper sale. Also, Paper Pumpkin. If you're not signed up and you want the adventure kit, I don't know too much more about it other than it makes 12 cards and has lots of colors in it. I think it's going to go, it seems like it's similar to like Mountain Air, but I could be with the mountains and stuff. But I could be wrong. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining me and keeping me company and helping me stay awake. How'd I do? 9/11. Not too bad for 5 cards. Preparation was key, right? So this is the easiest one, but it still looks nice, I think. And none of them are really extremely hard. The hardest part of everything to me was 2-step stamping, but I think I did okay. I think my tiger looks okay. Thank you. Thank you all. All right, everybody. I'm going to go try and get some sleep myself. So I can probably get up at 2 again in the morning or 3. Have a great week. And the sale is 15% off certain designer papers in case anybody missed that. What did I do with it? Here it is. These are the ones. Beauty of the Earth, Bloom Where You're Planted, hand penned, which is what I used on these 2 cards. In Good Taste, In the Wild, which is what I used on this card and this card. Well, I used that set on these, the DSP on these 2. Pansy Petals, I've used before. Sweet Symmetry, I don't have. Tidings for Christmas, I don't have. And You're a Peach, we're going to be using next week. So next week, I'm planning on Sweet as a Peach and Flowers of Friendship. Like probably 2 cards from each or something. I don't know yet. We'll see. That's the plan. Subject to change because if I get into it, I'm not feeling it, you know. And then just a sneak peek. This is my wish list for the mini catalog and celebration. That page is celebration. How about that? You know what? It just started thundering here, so I am going to get off, and I have to turn the air conditioner off, so let me finish my little spiel. And have a good night, everybody. Bye.